had secretly filmed of himself with
Oh,
Jules.
I hated this scene, I swear. First of all, did it show Nate weird ass in the mirror just sitting there? If you were watching it, it felt like so long his ass was just there. Like these. Shit was crazy.
And then Maddie runs up to fight Cassie, chasing her off stage. Lexi's big
I'm not gonna lie, I'm glad she did run up on her, but she ain't beat her enough for me. I needed to see feet all up in that girl's face, kicking, punching, you feel me? It wasn't enough damage done. It wasn't. What's good, y'all? So today I'm going to be reacting to the season 2 recap and finale explained. If you haven't watched the finale or if you haven't watched season 2, I wouldn't watch this video because it's going to spoil it. You know, that doesn't make any sense. Number 2, you feel me? It's a like a calm, chill day. Your girl don't look the best, but like, who cares? Anyways, all I'm gonna say is season 2, the finale. Season 2 in general was really different from season 1. Like I said in my last video, I feel like season 1, that's not even I feel like, I know every episode was dedicated to one character and kind of went through their life and their journey and their point of view in like a day of their life at the school or whatever they go through and stuff like that. You know, backstory, all of that. Season 2 was a little bit like more chaotic and hectic, I think. I don't feel like it was like focal points. I feel like there's a lot of unknown things that have happened. Like Rue. She lost that drug dealer money. What the fuck? Like what about that? Like what happens with that? Ash dying. Did he die? Because I watched an interview with him and he was like, we don't know if Ash is really dead. And I'm just like, because the camera doesn't show anything. What else? Jules and Elliot, like, does Rue catch them? Like, it's just a lot of things that I feel like were not answered. Just kind of, you feel me? But I feel like that was on purpose to set up season 3. And I see a lot of people like, well, what is that? What was that? Blah, blah, blah. Like, what the fuck is happening? And I'm like, I feel like the level of attention to detail that Sam Levinson and Drake is involved some way, somehow. Put in that show, they didn't just leave all them holes for no reason. Like, I feel like it's going to be very well executed. Yeah, I'm glad that Rue stayed clean for the rest of the, the semester. Which, if she's, is she, what grade is she in? How old are these people? Because some of them like a senior. So wouldn't this have been the end? I don't know. I didn't like, not even that I didn't like, but like I wish Kat had more screen time because early, even though she was pissed me off a little bit in the first season, and she kind of pissed me off in this season, but it not necessarily pissed me off. She just had a good guy, and it's just like it didn't work. But I kind of just wish there was more attention on that. I feel like some characters that didn't get a lot of attention this season had a lot of attention last season, and maybe that's they're like trying to shift because there's new characters as well, like Elliot, and Faye and stuff like that. I don't know, but anywho, this is gonna explain the finale and it's going to just recap the entire season. So let's get into it.
Things get even more complicated for Rue Bennett and her fellow classmates. Rue's friend and drug dealer Fezco finds himself in increasingly more dangerous situations. His younger brother Ashtray kills their supplier Mouse in self-defense, putting the drug-dealing duo in a very precarious situation. Rue tags along with Fez as he pays a visit to a new supplier, an unassuming but very threatening woman named Lori.
Also, the whole like comments about Ashtray like killing him and like I don't why would he do that and why would he, all that blah blah blah, like are we forgetting like he's 13 in the show? Like he's a 13-year-old and is scared that his brother is going to go down for something that he did. So of course, I mean, teenagers, and he just like barely a teenager, make very poor impulsive decisions, especially when they're scared or in a dangerous situation, you know. So I don't understand why people acting like he like 25 and should have known better. Like you get scared. Like I don't know. It's just it makes sense to me why he did it. It was frustrating to watch, but I'm not that surprised. I'm not shocked. So I'm really confused as to why motherfuckers was acting like that was like the craziest thing ever.
With his business affairs squared away, Fezco turns his attention to his personal life. Faye, the girlfriend of Fez's friend Custer, moves in when Custer needs to lay low from the police. Fez gets his revenge on Nate Jacobs for sending the police to raid his apartment for drugs in season 1 by viciously beating him at a house party. And Fez begins developing a romantic relationship with Lexi. Cassie begins secretly sleeping with Nate and quickly becomes obsessed with him. She also becomes racked with guilt due to Nate being her best friend Maddie's ex-boyfriend. This is all complicated even further when Nate rekindles his relationship with Maddie. Meanwhile, Nate's father, Cal, drunkenly comes out to them. And then there's Kat, who begins to lose interest in her boyfriend Ethan and fakes a terminal illness to try to break up with him.
That was
he
OD.
sees through this lie and ends the relationship. And that brings us to Rue, who rekindles her relationship with Jules, who is unaware that Rue is slipping further into addiction. Not helping matters is the fact that Rue befriends new kid Elliot, who secretly enables her drug habits. In her continued spiral, Rue pays a visit to Lori and offers to become a drug dealer in order to secure $10,000 worth of drugs. As Elliot grows closer to both Rue and Jules, he begins to feel guilty about his part in enabling Rue's addiction. After developing a romantic relationship with Jules, Elliot confesses to her that he and Rue have been doing drugs together. Jules alerts Rue's mom, Leslie, who destroys Rue's massive drug stash. This sends Rue into a full-blown breakdown, angrily cutting ties with Jules and Elliot while destroying her own house. While Leslie tries to take Rue to rehab, Rue flees to Lexi and Cassie's house. When Leslie arrives to stage an intervention, Rue reveals to Maddie that Cassie and Nate were sleeping with each other, causing a fight that served as enough of a distraction for Rue to escape. Rue then takes refuge at Lori's home. The drug dealer gives Rue morphine to help with her withdrawals, but also insinuates that Rue could be sold into prostitution if she doesn't pay Lori the $10,000 that was owed. Following this traumatic and chaos-fueled day, Rue returns home to seek treatment. Following the blow-up between Maddie, Cassie, and Nate, and his father's departure, Nate decides to take his family's future into his own hands. Maddie had a copy of a sex tape that Cal had secretly filmed of himself with Jules.
I hated this scene, I swear. First of all, did it show Nate weird ass in the mirror just sitting there? If you were watching it, it felt like so long his ass was just there. Like these. She was crazy. Fuck.
To ensure she never leaked it and ruin the Jacobs name, Nate holds Maddie and himself at gunpoint to retrieve it. Nate then pays a visit to Jules and gives her the tape, apologizing for all the terrible things he'd done to her, and confessing everything he told her when catfishing her in season 1 was the truth. All season long, Lexi has been writing a school play chronicling her perspective of the lives of her family and friends. During the play's performance, there are a variety of reactions from the story's subjects. Maddie begins to soften on her anger toward Cassie, Rue and Jules reevaluate their feelings for each other, and Nate becomes enraged at a homoerotic musical number centered around him and the high school football team, leading him to break up with Cassie. This causes Cassie to run up on stage to publicly confront Lexi for embarrassing her. This escalates further when Suze runs up on stage to break up her daughters, and then Maddie runs up to fight Cassie, chasing her off stage. Lexi's big
I'm not gonna lie, I'm glad she did run up on her, but she ain't beat her enough for me. I needed to see feet all up in that girl's face, kicking, punching, you feel me? It wasn't enough damage done. It wasn't.
Big moment was teetering toward disaster, but Rue rallies the crowd into a chant for Lexi, coaxing her to continue on with the play. Unfortunately, the seat Lexi saved for Fezco goes unfilled, as the drug dealer is having major problems of his own. Faye's boyfriend Custer becomes an informant for the police in their investigation over Mouse's murder, and he arrives at Fez's apartment to try to record incriminating evidence. Faye warns Fez, but Fez plans on taking the fall for Mouse and Custer's deaths. But Ashtray has different plans and locks in. As the SWAT team burst in and Fez pleads for his brother to stop, Ashtray opens fire. The police kill Ashtray and Fez is shot in the stomach during the crossfire before being arrested. Meanwhile, Nate pays a visit to his father. Cal finally apologizes to his son for all the emotional trauma he had caused, but it was too late. Nate had already alerted the authorities about Cal's history of secretly recording his sexual escapades with partners of varying ages. As the season comes to a close, Rue forgives Elliot for his involvement in her intervention and thanks him for saving her life. Her relationship with Jules, on the other hand, was a bit more complicated, and Rue might finally be ready to move on from her first love. As the season fades to black, Rue narrates that she stayed sober for the rest of the school year. She didn't know if it would last forever, but right now, she was trying. And that's every.
For me, like I said, the finale was really good, but it's annoying that it's not going to be another season for another 2 years. Like, bro, I will be 25, 26. Ew. Bro, that's disgusting. But that's what I mean. Like, it's just like, I don't understand why we gotta wait that damn long. They can't do this in like 6 months. And that, like I said, most of my issues were with Nate, Cassie. Rue was just like a struggle to like deal with. I really liked Maddie, Ashtray, Fez, Ethan. Everybody else was kind of just in the middle. Like, I don't really care if I didn't like them or if I didn't like dislike them. There's a weird ass bird outside. Anywho, yeah. So I really love Euphoria. It's a dope ass show, and I just wish they would be quicker time before, like, so we could get it. Like, I don't know. Like, even if it was a year, like, I understand that too. Like, that's a lot. They gonna have to hurry that shit up. So, anyways, y'all like, comment, subscribe, follow me on Instagram, follow me on Twitter. I'll see y'all in the next one.